By some turn of miraculous events, my brother escaped death twice, and those events shaped the way he looked at risk. One of the earliest conversations I had about earning in dollars was from my elder brother. He would often say, even if you're working as a cleaner or the listening and scooping water from the boot, you will get paid in dollars. His dream job was to work on board a marine vessel, and that's what inspired him to study marine engineering at Maritime Academy, Oron. It was a struggle for him. I remember the palpable joy we had as a family when we found his name on the admission list. I think that was his third or fourth attempt. Fast forward to when he completed his program and had an internship opportunity at Nigerian Navy Operation Base, NNS Victory. It was during his time there that I had a better appreciation for mechanical engineering. As a mechanical engineering student, I didn't know what the governor of a generator looked like, amongst many other things. My brother showed me. He explained their working principles. I loved engineering. One Monday morning, while the interns were asked to submit an assignment, my brother had left his book at home, so he was administered a punishment. While he went to serve his punishment, the engineers and the other interns went to work on one of the vessels during their routine maintenance operations. My brother would usually share how he was the first person to get in such operations. He would be the first to get in the boat, open up the windows everywhere so that there is air, the slides, and they could have a good place to work in. That day he was absent. While he finished his punishment, he went to the computer lab, which was his favorite place. Shortly after he was there, he heard an explosion, only to find out that the vessel the engineers and the interns were working in had exploded and caught fire. It was a fatality, though some people were severely injured. You remember, his dream job was to work on a marine vessel, and so he thought, while he had time on his hands, he should use the opportunity to acquire as much skills as he could and experience as well. So he sought another internship opportunity at NNS Beecroft, Lagos. On his way back after serving his time there, the car he was in was attacked. The driver was shot, even though he tried to maneuver into a reverse position into the bush. My brother jumped out. He was sitting in front of the vehicle. He jumped out and ran into the bush. He came back home and he was totally dejected. He had lost everything he worked for. All the certificates he had acquired during his stay at Maritime Academy. Remember, he was preparing to work on board a vessel. So he had acquired different levels of certifications. He lost everything in that car that night. That experience shaped the way he saw risk. In one of our conversations one day, he told me, I'd rather risk my money than risk my life. I found out later that he was suicidal after that event. All his hopes, all his dreams, the certifications, everything he had worked for, all his hopes to work on board a vessel came crashing. He had to start life afresh. It was in that process that he discovered Bitcoin and eventually discovered the financial market, which he introduced me into, fortunately for me. Those terrible experiences shaped his view on risk. There are risks everywhere, but those experiences shaped the way he saw risks, and he made up his mind not to involve in those kind of risks. To him, it is better for him to risk his money and lose it and get it back some other time than to risk his life